What is up, everyone? It's me again, Nika. Thank you so much for visiting my channel again. And today's video is going to be very useful for people out there who are probably not aware that they are already experiencing this. This is, I should say, one of the things that could really kill somebody. I'm not joking. Like, I've seen a lot of people who are, a lot of people who are wealthy, people who have, I think, who has everything that they could wish for already in life, however, end up not being able to totally achieve their goal just because they're not able to overcome this. And this is what we call stress. S-T-R-E-S-S. Stress, that's actually brothers and sisters of depression, anxiety, irritability, even low sex drive, and sometimes memory loss or concentration loss, and being compulsive. Basically the things that you probably have experienced, but you are not aware that those are the signs and symptoms of depression or being stressed. And so today we're going to talk about ways and how we can take control those negative feelings that I've mentioned earlier that causes stress and may possibly, destroy us, our lives, our goals in lives. So let's get it on. Let's get on to the tips that we have. Tip number 1, identify the source of your emotional stress. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to uncover what's causing the stress. So is it your work? Is it your relationship? Is it the people around you? There could be a lot of possibility why somebody can be stressed, and that's definitely going to be up to you. You have to be able to internally figure out what's really causing this particular stress. And doing so, you would be able to target that and take control of it. So later on, we're going to talk about more steps and how we can, be able to take control of it after we've already figured out the particular stress or negative emotion that, causes stress for us. Tip number 2, accept what you can change. So we have to accept that as a person, we are created to be not perfect, right? There is a limitation that's been set to us that everyone would definitely experience. And we are not going to improve if we're not going to be able to accept that particular fact. I personally, I myself, I know that I have a limit, and that limit, if that's been reached, I have the tendency to sometimes get angry, sometimes to just voice out whatever I want to voice out. So with that, I definitely know that accepting that fact that things that we cannot change is inevitable, that actually lessens the stress that it causes. So part of being able to accept what you cannot change is really accepting it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are saying that, you know what, I believe I already accepted the fact that I can't win this game, and so I'm already happy about it. However, when you get home and when you go to your room, you're crying out there and you cannot forgive yourself for not being able to give your best. That's not really accepting. Accepting means that, you're wholeheartedly doing everything that you could so that as a person, you can let go of that and just say goodbye to stress. That's basically it. Number 3, have a support system. So support system is something that would be really helpful and for you as a person when it comes to overcoming stress. Why did I say that? Because I do have my own support system. That's my family, as well as the things that I love doing. So my family is always there whenever, I'm not able to perform well. This happens to me before. Prior to this current work that I have, I was not accepted after 2 months of training. It was totally devastating, stressful on my part. However, just because I do have my family with me, whom I call my support, they are the ones who really tapped my back and told me that, hey Nica, you can do it. You've done that before, so you can definitely do it this time again. And so I'm here. I found, I should say, a greener pasture. So yes, you have to look for, if you haven't got already a support system, you have to find one. If you prefer to have a support system like your friends, your colleagues, do that at least. If you're working virtually like me, I also have a support system like my friends whom I talk to via chat. I send them a personal message, all the time, asking them how they're doing and if they need anything. I also have my church mates, friends that I go to. That's if I do have time, or if I could squeeze that into my schedule. And yeah, have that particular support system in you in order for you to be able to just release the tension in you. So what that particular support system does to me is that I can voice out everything that I'm feeling inside. I'm not just in the corner crying, pitying myself. I'm not doing that, just because I have people around me who are encouraging me, motivating me, so that I can move on to my next steps, right? Number 4, solve smaller problems. Smaller problems sometimes are being neglected. I am personally guilty about this, because I know that sometimes I tend to forget the smaller things in life, and I tend to focus more on bigger problems that are blocking my mind from being able to think positively and efficiently. So I end up not being able to resolve anything at all. So if I were you, don't focus too much on big problems, major problems in your life, your relationship. Focus on the things that you can solve easily. That actually explains why when we were in college or in high school, it's better to answer questions that are easy to answer first, because in that way you can accomplish things faster, and then you can then focus on bigger problems in the end, and it won't drain you. It won't how should I say that? It won't be that hard for you to think in the end, because you're feeling positive, like, hey, I've already answered a couple of things and I'm feeling accomplished already. So probably in the end, it's going to motivate you to resolve those bigger problems. And sometimes those bigger problems are automatically being resolved because the smaller problems are connected to them. So that's my tip for you. Number 5, participate in things that you enjoy. Not only enjoy, but enjoy the most. So I personally enjoy makeup. I enjoy listening to music. What else? Of course, I enjoy being with my kids. So yeah, you have to be with the same people, or with the same, like-minded people like you. If you're into sports or probably traveling, you have to join those people that likes the same thing that you like, So by doing this, I believe that it's easier for you to recover if you're already in the stress. And sometimes if it blocks stress from coming in, just because you're busy doing things that you like, you're enjoying, and you're not focusing on negative vibes. Instead, you're focusing on enjoying and getting more of that particular fun vibes in you. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do things that you enjoy. If you can't think of anything that you enjoy yet, then you have to discover yourself. Because if you are not able to know yourself well, then how would you be able to give love to others? If it came from a broken relationship, how would you be able to say you love somebody if you yourself, you don't love yourself? So I don't know why we got off topic, but that's about it. You basically have to love yourself, go and enjoy the things that you love doing the most, and everything will follow. Number 6, change your environment. So as for me, as you know, I'm a working mom. I'm a working from home mom. I'm always at home. I don't know about you. If you're working in a corporate world, you're probably working in that same company for 5-10 years already. You haven't thought about changing jobs because that's your comfort zone. That's fine. However, after work, you have to make sure that you're changing that environment, because sometimes that environment gives you stress. How do I say that? Well, been there, done that. I've been in the corporate world for more than 10 years already, and sometimes seeing the same building, walking up, or going up to the building, using the same elevator or escalator every single day for 365 days or more, that sometimes gives me tension. And if that tension builds without following those other steps that I mentioned earlier, that sometimes is piling up and causes you those negative feelings, and then end up not very healthy. So yes, change your environment. If you need to go out of town, do so. I don't know about you, but sometimes going out of the to the coffee shop, just seeing different environment makes me feel better. I personally feel that way, because I work from home. What I see is the same paint, the same setup, interior designs at home. So even the clutter of my babies, my kids, I don't know about you, but what I usually do in order to change my environment is I make sure that every week, every time I get my paycheck, is we go out, we eat out with the family so that we can see different environment and be able to move on, restore that energy again within me, and move on to our next week. Number 7, keep a journal. Well, I don't know, this particular notebook that I'm using right now, this is a journal slash go-to notebook that I have. So if you could see, this has my name on it. Okay, this was given to me by my previous training manager, Miss Ann. Hello, Miss Ann. Thank you for this. So she gave it to us as I believe it's a Christmas present, when I used to work as her temp trainer. And yeah, this notebook actually contains a lot of good things. This is my journey of being a Christian. This has also my journey when I was planning out our wedding, things that are important to me. So I love writing, but not to the extent that I write every day. So it's only when I want to, when I'm in the mood. So it depends on how well you know yourself. If you feel like you want to do journal every single day or every time you're feeling down, it's really going to be up to you. But for me, it helps me a lot in being able to organize myself. Plus, it keeps me it keeps my record of everything, where I pour down emotions and things like that. Oh look, we're already down to tip number 8, which is gonna be the last tip, but we're still gonna talk about a lot of things, so stay with me. Tip number 8 is prayers. You have to engage in prayers. Well, just like what I said, I'm a Christian, so prayer is really important. You know, of course, every one of us, we know God. We have that faith in us. So one of the biggest powerful things that you can do in your life in order for you to take control of those negative emotions is for you to engage in prayer. Because sometimes, you know,